Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jay Will coming back with another one and wanted to break down the story of this NFL executive saying that DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have much left and he said he can't run anymore. DeAndre Hopkins, who has been one of the best receivers in the league and only played 9 games, I believe, last year, but still led the Cardinals in receiving yards with 717 receiving yards and 64 catches and 3 touchdowns, which led the Cardinals last year. And supposedly this NFL executive says he can't run anymore. From what I saw last year, he can still run. He can still run routes. He might not have that burst or that get away from the cop speed he used to have. And I would argue that he never really had just burner speed. But I guess as far as just running by people, that's not going to happen as often yet, but I would argue that was never really his game to begin with. He's more of a possession body receiver, big catching, aggressive catching receiver. So I don't know if this is a tactic or something by the NFL executive to lure teams away from DeAndre Hopkins, but from his play last year, I did not see him really diminishing much, other than him taking PEDs, which that always is a factor that a receiver could be diminishing and, could be on the downhill, which with age that happens. But I don't see a dramatic fall to where I would say he can't run anymore or he doesn't have the ability to run past people or the ability to sustain a whole NFL season. Of course, he probably needs to, have his workload, have his workload not as heavy as it used to be. But from what I saw, he was still the go-to receiver for the Cardinals. For most of the season, he had Kyler Murray, but then Kyler Murray got hurt and he was still, the top receiver. So if he goes to a team with a quarterback that, can really get it to him, I think he can be a top 10, top 8, 7 receiver in the league. I haven't seen much of a drop off to say that he isn't that anymore. And I'm not really sure what this NFL exec is seeing to say that. But he's not the only one who made comments about DeAndre Hopkins. Another NFL executive, I actually gave him a little more praise. He said he's still a good player, a good route runner, big physical target that can play the ball in the air, and he's still a threat. And I would agree with that second executive. DeAndre Hopkins is definitely still a threat, and I'm sure a lot of teams would really be happy to have him. I think the situation that we run into where DeAndre Hopkins is having problems is because Odell Beckham was signed to a $15 million deal with $3 million that he can get in bonuses, with $15 million guaranteed. So Hopkins sounded like he was, okay with getting traded or okay with reworking his contract. But as soon as he saw that Odell was getting top dollar, dang near coming off an ACL injury, not playing for a full year, he said, F that, I need that money. I need that bag. So I don't know. It's not many teams that have that type of money available, and I'm not sure if they want to, give it to Hopkins. So he's probably going to have to compromise and probably play for a lower salary than what he's wanting to play for. But it's either do that or wait until a team is really in need, and then they can maybe give you that bag if their number one receiver goes down. But I think some good fits for him would, of course, be the one that everyone is saying with the Chiefs. I think that would be a really good fit. But a team that I think would be a good fit that a lot of people aren't talking about would be the Carolina Panthers. Him and Bryce Young, a young Bryce Young who doesn't really have a number one receiver anymore. I believe that would be a really good fit. And I think DeAndre Hopkins can really help grow Bryce Young. And I think the Panthers are actually a scary upset alert team to surprise the NFC South this year. I think they can really be a strong contender, especially if they get a guy like DeAndre Hopkins who can be the number one receiver or security blanket for Bryce Young. A few other teams I believe Hopkins has a chance of going to, I would say, is the Patriots, which You know, they're not too big on signing free agents too often, especially wide receivers. I would also say the Titans, but you can kind of put them in the same category as the Patriots. But they could really use a number one receiver for Tannehill or Will Levis, as well as the Giants. The Ravens, if they didn't get Odell Beckham, that would have been the perfect fit for Lamar Jackson, a possession receiver. I think that would have been a really good fit, as well as the Jets. If they didn't sign Allen Lazard, I think that would have just been another Devontae Adams for Aaron Rodgers. And then the last two teams I could see maybe considering or being a good fit would be the Colts and the Rams. I know the Rams don't have the cap space to do it, so you can dang near mark them off. But the Colts, you know, they kind of, you know, would be nice with another receiver outside of Michael Pittman Jr., so I could kind of see them going there. But I don't know if they want to do that with the direction they're headed in. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you think DeAndre Hopkins should play for next? Who do you think is the best fit for him? And what do you think about this executive's comments? Do you agree? Is he, you know, is he diminished? Is he, you know, is he about to be out of the league in a couple of years? And can he not run away from people anymore? Let me know in the comments down below. Sub to your boy. Smash that like button. We coming with that heat, man. Let's get it.